to get this coverage. So this is going to be working east. If you know anybody who lives along I-75 in southern Georgia, not Valdosta, just to the south, Lake Park, Dasher, Cliville areas, give them a call. Give them a heads up. Let them know that they got to get in their safe place.
Keep that in mind. Flood warnings are in effect for parts of Taylor, Lafayette, and Dixie counties because of those heavy rains they've seen for the past few days. Elsa's latest update, that's bringing some really squally, rainy weather up and down I-75 through the rest of the peninsula. Almost that tail-like feature. This is just an incredible image because earlier, if you saw it at the beginning of the show, there was a lot of grass there, a little bit of an island. This is what 3 to 5 feet of storm surge looks like. So again, as that water bottles up on the eastern side of the Gulf, it's got to go somewhere, and it goes over land. Real quick check at the tropics. It's still hurricane season. No development expected in the next 5 days across that main development region in the Atlantic as big plumes of dry, dusty air from the Saharan desert work from east to west across that entire area. This is where storms develop that could impact us down the line, eventually making it into the Gulf. Right now, it's looking like a graveyard for the rest of the month of July. That's Nicholas. Look how lopsided this system is. The center's over Houston. All the rain is to the east side. Some strong upper level winds out of the west kind of blowing this thing over. And with that strong upper level wind out of the west, that shear is bringing all that upper level moisture on the water vapor imagery to us. All you have to do is go to the website to know your zone and scroll down to the counties with designated evacuation zone list. You can click on your county here. We'll click on Taylor County. It'll pull up a map and it will show you the designated zones from the coast to areas further inland. And once you figure out what zone you are and if you are ordered to evacuate, you find an evacuation route and have a plan for you and your family to stay safe. Let me circle this area and then let's go street view and try to get a good idea where this would be. And again, this has kind of in the past 2 to 3 scans become a little bit more clear to us where this potential rotation would be. Let's get down to the street level now. So again, we're looking in Tift County. This is in Tifton. Look at these roads. If you're seeing any roads that look familiar to you on this map, you want to be in that safe place. Elm Street, Alder Street, Beach Street. This is where that bright red and that bright green come together. This is working east. So I don't think that we're really going to have to deal with any flooding issues here in our coverage area. Most of the rainfall totals are up and down the west coast, stretching all the way from Fort Myers up through the Tampa area into like Cedar Key. And that's kind of almost a cutoff where it is going to make landfall. And those totals are going to be much less here because we have the offshore winds and all that moisture gets displaced to the right of the center. And that's all to our south. So let's give you a little bit more zoomed out look, kind of give you an idea of where we are looking exactly on radar as this storm travels right along the Florida-Georgia state line. It is a tornado-warned storm, radar indicated tornado, but you're going to want to be in your safe place if you are within that warning polygon. That is mostly for the folks in northern Madison County, north of Madison, north of I-10, southeast Brooks County, although they're about to be cleared out in southern Lowndes County. Lake Park, Dasher, those towns up and down I-75, going to want to get in that safe place. If it's felt like a busy hurricane season for us locally, it has been, but these storms have been very weak. That's a good thing. Not going to complain. We had Tropical Storm Elsa make landfall in July in Taylor County. We had Tropical Storm Fred make landfall in Bay County in August. And now in September, Mindy has made landfall in Franklin County. You see Tallahassee, we kind of avoided Elsa and Fred as those went to our east and west, but Mindy crossed right over us. Our strongest winds, heaviest rainfall came today and last night from Mindy. What's always going to be most important, don't fight, swim left or right. Make sure that you find those escape routes. If you swim parallel to shore, a lot of these rip currents can be very narrow and you can easily get out of the current by just not struggling and swimming sideways. And once you do make it out of that current, you can make your way safely back to shore. Now coming up, it's going to be turn around, don't drown. A lot of times in these heavy rainfall scenarios, you can see roads get puddled up. Always a good tip, if you can't see the bottom of the road in front of you, don't drive through the water. That heavy rainfall can lead to rapid rises, especially in more low-lying areas and flood-prone spots. Only half a foot to sweep a person away. Over a foot of water at once can easily sweep away vehicles. So the National Weather Service survey teams just completed their preliminary survey about half an hour ago, and they said that it was an EF0 with max winds of 80 miles per hour. You'll get an official report later on, but they have to go out there and survey that damage and see what kind of structural damage it does to areas in Bainbridge. Right now, a low-end tornado, but a tornado nonetheless. That happened just after 3 p.m. yesterday afternoon. You can see that kind of weak couplet on the southwest side of Bainbridge, and it dissipated just to the northeast of town less than 10 minutes later. Not even enough time for it to get a warning. So that low-end severe threat, when we talk about the potential for brief, weak tornadoes, that was it yesterday afternoon. This is an important one for us here in the southeast because not only does Florida rank in the top 10 for highest lightning deaths since 1959, Georgia is also in the top 20, and the entire southeast rounds out this bullseye for where we see the most thunderstorms and the most deadly thunderstorms due to lightning. Handful of tips, the most important one and probably the most straightforward: when thunder roars, go indoors.
Rule out some stronger ones. So the area rotation that we're tracking is right around New Hope in eastern Calhoun County, and this is moving from south to north at 25 miles per hour toward Bluntstown, towards Sweetwater, and it's going to continue to work up toward I-10 in the coming minutes. But I have that area circled. So what I look for, a bright red and a bright green couplet. Essentially, that's winds toward and away from your radar sites. So if you have all one color really bright, it's going to be some strong straight line winds. But when you have two of them, if you have winds going toward and away from the radar, that's rotation. And the reason that we are on air right now is because of this tornado warning that was issued about 15 minutes ago, I'd say. You still got just about 15 to 20 minutes left on it till 2:45 p.m. You're under a tornado warning. What do? You want to get to that safe place in your home. If you don't know where it is, it's most likely a bathroom or a small closet on the lowest floor. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. It's going to be a small interior room, so make sure you get there and make sure you stay there until 2:45, till this storm has passed through, even though